The Junior 1000 Ecosse Challenge swapped the tight confines of Kames for the wide open spaces of Crail Airfield for round 3 of the 2026 season, the AirTech Integrity Junior stages. 18 crews lined up to tackle the 5 stages, headed up by Crail first-timer Mackenzie Snowdon and co-driver Rob Fagg. Out for the first 3 stages, the weather mostly dry. And despite the new venue, it didn't matter to Snowdon and Fagg, fastest in all 3 stages despite some traffic. The up headed into the lunch halt with a massive 12-second lead. Another delayed by traffic in SS1, William Patterson and Mark McCulloch were third quickest in stage 1 before setting 2 second fastest times in SS2 and 3. William and Mark planning some setup changes for the afternoon. It was another super clean and smooth morning from Gregor Reid and Simon Mills. On it from the start, they established themselves in a fairly comfortable third early on, 14 seconds clear of 4th place. There was a big battle, however, for 4th. Ollie Poole and Richard Simmons held the place from the start, but were lucky to survive a full 360 spin in stage 3. The Me crew were just 4 seconds clear of James McLaughlin and Andrew Blackwood. The Bridgend team on the fight back after a missed gear change in stage 1 briefly left the car in limp mode. Rhys Purvin was teaming up with George Myatt for the first time and they were gelling really well, but the car was fighting back. The rear shock absorbers leaking, making for a very bouncy ride. Rally leader Mackenzie Snowdon stepped in, offering spare parts that unfortunately didn't fit, but Rhys and George were grateful for the show of sportsmanship. The up was only 9 seconds ahead of the flying Charlie Kelso and John Shepherd. The C1 crew on the limit, making huge chunks of time in the twisties and annoying some of the higher budget cars. Another new combo, Gregor Beatson and Alan Edwards immediately gelled on the Friday, discovering that they had the same cheeky sense of humour. Out on the stages, Gregor's mission for smoothing things out was beginning to bear fruit, right in the mix with the top 5 times all morning. Charlie Scott and Harry Marchbank had found even more pace from their Kames debut. The extra speed did cost them a bumper, clipping the tyres and almost reaching the point of no return on 2 wheels. Charlie doing the proper rally thing and keeping his foot in.
Went a bit too fast and caught the tyres and nearly went onto our side, but yeah, we managed to get away from it. So.
Proper rally driver style though, you just kept it pinned, yeah?
Yeah.
Harry Miller was making his first rally start with Ian Mackenzie alongside. Having impressed at the Knockhill training day at the start of the year, Harry was doing things the right way, using the first couple of stages to find a rhythm and his confidence, lying an excellent 10th after 3 stages. After their gearbox issues stymied them at Kames, Zach Mackay and Matt Maestro Robin Nicholson were having a much better time at Crail. Loving the venue, they were immediately locked in a battle with Miller and Mackenzie, just 4 seconds back from the red car at the lunch halt. Having proved she could catch a massive grassy slide at Kames, Kate Mathieson was now showing she could handle big airfield stages as well. After big brother Charlie helped her out with some line choices on the bikes on Friday, Kate and co-driver Ian Bass were right in the top 10 pace all morning. 10-mile long stages on a warm day were a bit of a culture shock for Thomas Campbell and Richard Ogilvie after the short stages of Kames. Thomas was finding his smooth style was working well, lying 13th after 3 stages. Zach Ferber was another to make his first Crail start. Zach and Chloe Fleming started strongly in stage 1, but stage 2 was a disaster. A broken track rod meant an early finish and a stage maximum. Once again, Team Snowdon got heavily involved to aid Kev and the team with the change, and they were back out for stage 3. Emma Finlay and Craig Neely have made a big step forward in pace this year. Stage 2 was a low point though, Craig making a very rare mistake, missing a split and resulting in them taking a stage maximum. The up crew also dealing with badly fading brakes. And another crew having a tough day at the office, April Blair and Ailey Williamson, had to deal with their own brake issues in Stage 1. But Stage 2 was even worse, stuck in third gear early on. That gave them 2 maximums, but the team were confident about getting a new unit in at the lunch halt. And another with issues, Callum Patterson and Andrew Jones were entertaining the crowds in Stage 1 with the patented Micra Bounce-O-Matic suspension. But Stage 2 was also their undoing, the clutch on the Micra failing, another team with a busy lunch halt ahead. Another crew to give their service team a big workload, Liam Kaufman and Richard Stewart started brilliantly, second quickest in Stage 1. Then it would all go wrong, too fast into a corner and making heavy contact with the tyres, resulting in a 3-wheeled Skoda Citigo.
Yeah, really good. The stages are brilliant, really quick. On that stage we just had a bit of brake fade, just braking so late into the corners and just overheating the brakes, but yeah, no, really good. I'm enjoying it and hopefully Rob is too.
Enjoying it, and there's not much left in there like we were just saying. The fast stuff definitely, no, it's quite brave in places, but maybe a bit neater on some of the tight stuff, but apart from that we're pretty good.
Yeah, it's gone good. Stage quite slippy, it's all really fast though, so it's really good, yeah. Bit more open, a bit more faster than came, so it's good getting into a long stage again.
2 stages remained to decide the result. Rallying is cruel, and this time it picked Kelso and Shepherd, the C1 robbed of a hard-fought result with a fuel issue in the last stage, dropping them into retirement. Not the deserved ending for Charlie and John after one of the drives of the day. The Kaufman team put in a shift rebuilding the front end, and despite the crew feeling a bit stiff, they got back out for 4 and 5. Clearly it hadn't phased Leon, setting 2 top 6 times. Watch for a comeback drive at Machrihanish. The day was slightly spoiled by a last stage maximum for Campbell and Ogilvie, but it was another good day of learning for Thomas in the C1, grabbing 16th overall at the finish. Another crew to put in the work, Team Nissan changed the clutch before Patterson and Jones put in 2 strong runs in 4 and 5. 15th overall was their reward, but the pace shows there's still life in the old Micra yet. The Blair Motorsport team got a new gearbox in for April and Ailey before Stage 4, and they were back in the mix. 2 very strong runs, setting top 6 times in 4 and 5, rounded out a rough day off with some encouraging pace for the future. Finlay and Neely salvaged 14th despite more brake issues. That was just 1 place down on their Kames result, as Emma continues this very strong improvement in 2026. And after their Stage 2 issues, Furbert and Fleming were immediately back in the top 6 times for the rest of the day, recovering to 12th overall. Watch for them to bounce back at Machrihanish. th overall and top lady driver on only her second event was a really good result for Mathieson and Bass. Loving Crail, Kate will no doubt be a big fan of Mach 1 next time out. Tenth on Mackay's first Crail visit was very solid, Zach and Robin losing out in their big battle with Miller and Mackenzie by just 10 seconds. Harry and Ian finding big chunks of time with each repeat stage, and the Red Citigo will definitely be in the top novice mix for the rest of the year. But taking that top novice this time out, 8th at the finish was a really strong result on only Charlie Scott's second rally. Clearly there is even more to come this season from Charlie and Harry. There were a couple of lockups in the afternoon for Beatson and Edwards, but this event marked a distinct step up in pace. 10th at the last round, 7th was a very solid result this time out. Hopefully Gregor can mark his 17th birthday with a good result at Machrihanish next time out. Reese and George soldiered on with their dodgy rear suspension and still set some excellent times, grabbing a very strong 6th overall despite the handicap. And in the big battle for 4th, Poole and Simmons were not quite able to hold the Bridgend car back in the afternoon. Another 5th place was solid, but watch out for more from Ollie at Machrihanish, one of his favourite Junior 1000 venues. McLaughlin and Blackwood jumped the Mee on stage 4 and pulled 10 seconds clear by the finish. Another strong drive from James in 2026. Gregor Reid claimed he had backed off in the final tests, although Simon would disagree. The co-driver's side wing mirror sacrificed to chicane on the final stage. Another excellent podium for the Mee crew this season, keeping them very much in the championship mix.
I know, we're really happy. We had a wee gap going into the last 2 stages, so we were kind of not backed off, but we still were pushing, so it's good.
I don't think you were pushing. I've seen your wing mirror. I've seen your wing mirror, Simon. I don't think there was a backing off.
I don't think there was a backing off at all. Really good drive all day. Well deserved 3rd. He's done a great job.
Those setup tweaks found extra pace for Patterson and McCulloch. Chasing the white up hard, they had their own big sideways moments over the final tests, but close to within 9 seconds by the finish. Watch out for this lead battle at the next round.
It's good from the word go, really. We got held up a bit this morning, and we did actually some setup stuff with the suspension. That helped a lot in the last 2. So no, it was right good fun. Thanks to Mark, he was spot on. Helped me a lot today, so yeah. Oh no.
He was driving really well. William and Mackenzie, they're both brilliant drivers. They've probably both got completely different driving styles, to be fair,
Yeah.
but they both work. And it's great to sit next to these young guys and see how hard they push. And like William says, we've done a small setup change there before the last 2, and it totally transformed the car and allowed him to push at the pace he wants to drive at. So I think that'll bode well for the rest of the year for him. Take that forward to the next round.
Brake fade on these fast stages kept Mackenzie on his toes. An overshoot in stage 4 was followed up by a wild moment in the final stage that had Rob reaching for the door handle. The Up taking another win by 9 seconds at the finish, making it 3 wins on the bounce in 2026.
Yeah, no, amazing. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, glad we made the journey.
Yeah, your first time up to this particular airfield, what do you think of it?
Yeah, no, this morning, with it being a bit damp, thought it'd be slippy. Came out at the start, went a bit of sideways, and then we came into the second corner, and it was grippier than we thought. So yeah, we just pushed on and got a lead from there, and just tried to keep it really. So yeah, no, really good, very happy.
Yeah, I was saying to Mark, Rob, that there must have been a few big skids out there, judging by the hand signals that were going on between you.
Yeah, I mean, we had to push really on that last one. We had a bit of an overshoot on 4, so we didn't want to leave anything in there at all. And I grabbed the door at one point because we had a bit of a slide coming into a chicane, and yeah, it worked out today again. Max driven really well. Great that William's driven well. Shame about the traffic earlier. I think it would have been a lot closer, although, you know, it's good to battle with William, and obviously Greg is getting on the pace. So we've had a really good day. My first time here as well, and it's some place like in these cars, really hanging on the door handles, to be honest, so it's been good.
So Snowdon and Fag win again, but the pace of the chasing pack remains very strong. Up next, the challenge heads to Campbelltown for 2 days of flat-out competition on Machrihanish Airfield.